Hello everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to my Beautiful Nights channel. This video is a continuance of my BEADventurous series, and in case you didn't know, my BEADventurous series is where I do video tutorials on subscription boxes that I get. I do storage things, I talk about all different kinds of jewelry making stuff. So for this video, I am playing with materials from the Dollar Bead box, and when I opened that box, I found this. It's a brass filigree moon-shaped piece. Anyways, when I opened the box and I found this, I instantly got the idea to bead the bottom of it. And then I thought that I would just poke holes on the top here with my hole punch, but then I realized it would be really hard for me to center the holes, and I also thought that I could flip this pen to upside down and use it that way. And so after sitting down and designing, I ended up changing my ideas around because I realized if I were to poke holes on the top, it would be really hard for me to get the hole centered on each side, and I would risk damaging it, and I love it so much that I didn't want to risk it. And then I thought, well, I could maybe bend these ends over, curl them with my roundness pliers, and then I could string this pendant on. And then I'm like, well, I'm just going to see if I can even bead it first. So when I first thought about beading, I was just going to do Czech fire polish beads on it, and then I realized I should use the teardrops. They would look awesome with this. So I did. I used the teardrops, and I got this look here, and then I realized, well, I can make beaded bails because I put beaded bails on everything. And I'll zoom in so you can get a better look at it. So as you can see, I made my own beaded bails, and then after I did the bottom, I was like, I gotta do the top, so I went to a different color Czech fire polish bead in the box, and I did the top there, and it just looks so cool. It's really different, and this necklace actually kind of reminds me of that mermaid bracelet that I did a few weeks ago. If you guys didn't see that video, I'll put a picture of it up now. And you should go and check that video out because that was a really fun project, and a lot of you already have supplies in your stash that you can use to make that bracelet. And like I said in the video, you can use different size coin beads for the center. You don't have to use the same exact size that I did. So yeah, this necklace turned out so cool. I had a lot of different ideas, and it's changed so much, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's so different, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and make this together. We're going to start by decorating the bottom of the moon, and I'm using the teardrop beads from the box. I'm also using 4mm Czech fire polish beads. There's actually, I think there's 3 different colors that look good with these, so you can choose which ones you like. There's a purple pearl that I was thinking about using, but it was a different purple than the cathedral beads, I think that's what they're called, that I'm using in the rest of the necklace, so I didn't end up using those. But also there is that pink color that has the copper on it that looks really good with these teardrops. So I am using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 teardrops, and there's a total of 25 teardrops on the strand, and the other 4 teardrops I will be using in the rest of the necklace. So we're going to start by taking the needle and picking up one 4mm bead. By the way, these green beads are coated, so sometimes when you pick them up, the needle doesn't want to go through, and it's because it's coated like a pearl. You could see the coating there actually like lifting off the side. So I just thought that I would point it out because it's a little annoying actually to me. So I have my 4mm bead, and I'm going to pick up 7 11/0 seed beads. So I have 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. This is going to be for my bail on the pendant, so I'm going to slide these down like this, and I want to leave about a 5-inch tail so I can go back and tie knots. So I'm gonna go like this, hold the bead here at the 5-inch mark. I'm gonna pass my needle through the bead, bring all the seed beads down. Okay, I'll measure this again because I'm going to now anchor this in place. So slide this down to right there, 5 inches. Okay, and now I'm going to take the needle and I'm going to pass back through all of these beads again. There, through here, and then back through the 4mm Oops, I skipped a seed bead. I don't know how I did that. Okay, through the seed bead there and then through the 4. So we're just passing through all of the beads 2 times. And I'm going to pull the rest of my tail through there. Make sure it's about 5-inch tail. Yeah, okay. So pull this tight. And now I'm going to take the needle and I'm going to be working on this side here. This is going to sit right here. And I'm working on this side because I have my teardrops upside down so I can pick them up easier. And you may notice that there is like a rainbow mix in the teardrops. There's purple, pink, blue, green. I actually see orange and that one right there. So I just laid them out in a random pattern because I don't like having all the green in one spot, all the purple in one spot. I want it to look random because it's like a rainbow. So that's why I actually laid them out there. So now what I'm going to do is take the needle and I'm going to go underneath the filigree right here, pull this through, and then I'm going to take the needle and I'm going to pass back through the 4mm, just the 4, okay, and then pull my needle tight, and we should have this. Now I have to get my tail, my short tail, the 5-inch tail that I left, move that out of the way. So I'm just going to go like this, move it over here. I'm going to pick up my first teardrop bead, and then I'm going to pick up a 4mm bead, and I'm going to slide these down, okay, and then take the needle and I'm going to go underneath the filigree right here, and I need to get that to lay right, okay. And then I'm going to pass the needle back through this 4mm. And the coating, like I said, wants to block me from going through sometimes. So, pulling this tight. Okay, you gotta make sure that it's tight. You don't want it to be loose. And then I'm going to pick up another teardrop and another 4mm. And this time, see, I have to make sure that I space these teardrops right, because if I don't, it's going to look like I need another teardrop, and I can't afford to take another teardrop out of the rest of my necklace for the bottom. So when I first designed this, 11 was right, perfect for the bottom, and then when I did it again, it looked like I was short, so, shorter bead. But I don't want to use 12, I want to do an odd number. So I think what I'm going to do to fix that is I'm not going to go through this hole. I think I should go through this hole. Also, it should prevent my beads from bunching here. So I'm skipping over that triangle right there and I'm going into the next. I hope this makes sense to you. Yes, this should help me going through it this way. Okay, pull that tight. Yes, it should not bunch there. Okay, another teardrop, another 4mm bead, slide them down. It seems to help that I slide them down all the time. Okay, and then I'm just gonna go like this and figure out where to go next. I do think that I go through the next triangle bead. Yes. Or not triangle bead, triangle hole. So through this one. And you will notice, if you look, see how small the triangles are here? And then they get really wide at the bottom. Also, because how it's scalloped here on the edge, your thread is going to want to go in between the scallops. It's just naturally going to want to go to the thinnest part of the filigree. Okay, so that's what I have now. I'm going to pick up another teardrop. Look at this teardrop. This one here is totally rainbowed. It's like yellow-orange at the bottom, purple, blue, and it goes up to green. That one's really pretty. And then another 4mm. And because this is so wide right here, I am thinking that I will have to go here, because if I go, let's see, we can tell if we slide the beads down. So go like this, And I can kind of tell where I have to go next. Yeah, I have to go through here. Okay, so I'm gonna go through this triangle. Straighten out, beads, straighten out. And then I have to go down through this one. So we're not yet at the middle. We have 4 on. Now I'm gonna pick up another teardrop. I have a total of 11 teardrops, so I should probably mirror the other side to this side. So let's see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go down through this one. It just seems like it was that one spot right there at the beginning that we have to skip the triangle. We'll see as we go along. Let's see what happens. Pull that tight. I have 5 teardrops. I'm going to pick up another one and a 4mm. Slide it down. And let's see. Yep. I'm going to go through here. Pull that tight. Another teardrop. I do want to go like this and see how it lays. It looks like it's going to lay flat if I wiggle it. Okay, I got a teardrop and then a 4mm, and then I'm going to go through the next hole right there, and then through my 4mm. Another teardrop, another 4, slide that down. I'm gonna go through the next hole and then pull it tight and go through my bead. So yeah, I'm thinking that skipping, going through that first triangle is what may be helping me. Because when I got over here, I was short, I had a gap here, like I was missing a bead, but when I first made this, it was perfect. Slide those down. And let's see, it wasn't that one. It looks like I go through each triangle except for the first triangle. So coming out here, I'm going to go through this one and then through the 4mm, okay, and then a teardrop and then a 4. We're going to skip over that first triangle. See how I didn't go through the first triangle over here, because when I did that before, it made this here bunch together, and then when I got to over here, I didn't have, it looked like I was missing a bead, but when I first did this, it was perfect. So I have to skip over that first triangle in order to get this to work. Now I'm going to go down through the bead. Okay, just like that. Pick up my last teardrop and my last 4. And then I'm going to go up through right here. Yes, it worked. Okay, that was the secret. Good thing I figured that out. Okay, and then pull this tight. Okay, so what I'm trying to explain, but it might sound confusing to you guys. When I first made this, it was just like this. They were all splayed out perfectly. And then when I went to go film this, I took it apart and I filmed it, and when I filmed it, this is my second time filming it, I got over here, okay, and there was this big gap, and it looked like I was missing a bead, but it didn't make sense to me. So then I realized, in order to get this to work, I needed to skip the first triangle, because if you look, the triangles here when it starts, they're small, but as you get close to the bottom, they get bigger and bigger. So skipping, going through that first triangle is helping us get all the way to this side. And also I realized when I went to film this the first time and it didn't work out, that because I didn't skip the triangle over here the first time, it was bunching. The beads were bunching over here together and they weren't splayed out. So we got it working now. And now what I have to do is my little seed bead bale, which uses 7 seed beads. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, slide these down. I'm gonna go through my 4mm bead, make sure that's tight. Okay, and I'm going to sew back through all of this again, reinforcing it, and I should probably actually sew through this 3 times because this is my last time that I'm going to be on this side over here, because I have to sew back through the teardrops, and I'm going to put some bronze seed beads in, so I'm gonna go through this 3 times. So there's 2 times, and I'm gonna pass through all of them again. Just reinforcing. And then through the 4. Okay. And then pull that tight. Come on, straighten out. I'll put my bead on there and pop them out. Now what I have to do is go through my teardrop here. Careful not to catch those seed beads once you do that. And then we're going to fill in the gaps between all of the teardrops with 1 11/0 seed bead. So pick up a seed bead and go through the next teardrop. This makes it look even more prettier, and it hides the thread right there. Pick up 1 seed bead and go in between the teardrops. Alright, so since my tails have met up to each other, I'll show you here, you can see it better in the back. See how they're like right beside each other? I'm going to tie a surgeon's knot with them. So, let me straighten them out. Okay. So I'm just going to go over and under. I'm leaving my needle on while I do this. Bring it down. Okay, I don't want to tie it super tight because it's going to make these lift up, because my seed beads actually are a little narrow. They could have been a little bit thicker. Maybe Toho would have been best for this, but I don't have Toho in this color. So I do need to like not make a super tight knot. Alright. So just like that. Again, I'm not making it super tight because I need it to lay right. I need it to be flexible and movable. So that knot will do. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, you may notice that one thread is a lot longer, maybe 10 inches long. I'm going to take the longer thread and I'm going to go up through the 4mm bead. Okay. And what I'm going to do is follow the thread path that I have done this whole time to reinforce this, because I am kind of worried about the thread rubbing here on the filigree. So I just came up through here. I'm going to go back down through this bead, and then I'm going to go through the teardrop. And I think that I will catch the thread right here, tie a knot, go up through the 4mm, go through the top, come out, go back down to the 4mm, tie a knot, go into the teardrop, and I'm just going to follow my old thread paths, tying knots, going as far as I can go, and then once I go as far as I can, and I only have like an inch or so left, I will trim it off, and then I'm going to take my needle and put it onto my short tail, and I'm going to reinforce this loop here again because I've only done it 2 times, and 3 times is stronger, so I will do it a 3rd time, and then I will take the thread straight through these beads and tie knots. Alright, so I have to go and finish that off. And so let's go on to the top of this here. So this time I did cut 3 feet of thread because I do want to reinforce the top. I'm going to start by picking up a 4mm bead, and I'm going to go underneath this bar right here, and I'm going to pull my thread through, and I'm going to guesstimate on leaving, let's see, maybe 5-inch tail again. This time I'm not going to measure it because I know that I have more than enough thread, and I'm going to pass my needle back through this bead, grab the needle, pull it through. Make sure you only catch this bar right here and not anything else, because the thread likes to grab onto everything. Okay, so that's my tail. I'm thinking it's about 5 inches, and then I'm going to pick up 2 seed beads and another 4mm, and I am using 11 Czech fire polish beads for this area. I'm going to pass underneath the bar, pull that thread up there. Let's see. Okay, I just have to do some adjusting here, and then take the needle and pass through this bead like that. Okay, so I have to pull this tight, get this tail out of my way. So we have this. I'm going to pick up, I should try and slide this up some because of how it's sitting right there. There we go. See how there's this bump here? I want it to sit in between because it might start buckling on us. Now I'm going to pick up 2 seed beads again, and then another 4, and I'm going to go underneath right here, underneath that bar, and then I go up through this 4, like that. And I do try to avoid going through these triangles down here. I go through the upside down triangles, okay? Because if you go through here, there's going to be more thread exposed on the back side, and it's not going to look pretty. So you want to make sure that you stay on the side that has the upside down triangles. Hope that makes sense to you. So I have 3 4mm in there right now. I'm going to pick up 2 seed beads. I almost picked up a 4 first, and then I'm going to go through the next upside down triangle, and then I pass up through this bead, and I gotta pull my tail out. Pull that tight so it looks like this. Again, pick up 2 11-0s, another 4 through the next upside down triangle. Now there's going to be, because we're using 11 of these, there's going to be a spot where this is going to buckle on us, and that's the spot where we will skip a triangle. So I'll show you when we get there. So coming out, I have to go through the next bead, and it's fixing to happen. Okay, so pull that tight, pick up 2 11s again and a 4, and then I'm gonna go through the next triangle, this one here. Okay, and then I have to take my needle and go up through this 4mm. Okay, so we just did our 6th bead, and I need this to move over a little bit. We just did our 6th bead which is the center because we have 11 beads. So now I'm going to skip over a triangle because it's not going to look right if I don't. So taking and picking up a 4mm, I'm going to skip over this upside down triangle and I'm going to go through the next one. And then take the needle and go through the bead. Come on, straighten out for me. Okay, pick up 2 seed beads, another 4, and through the next triangle. And then I'm going to go up through this one, and I actually need this to scoot over a bit because I see there's a gap there, so I'm gonna try and scoot it, which is probably not gonna help much, but I gotta get it to scoot over. Okay, I'm going to pick up 2 seed beads again and a 4, again going for the back side through the next triangle. And then going up through the bead, up to the bottom. We really are just repeating the same things over and over. It's just that there's that one little tricky spot that we had to get the that one triangle skipped. I'm gonna go through here now. I actually have 2 threads wrapped around this part. I'm gonna go, it looks really messy right now, but once we reinforce the top, it'll straighten it out. Okay, going through here. Come on, come on. Pick up 2 seed beads. Here's the last 4. I'm gonna go through right here on the back side and then come up through this one bead, just the one bead, and then I'm gonna stop, pull this tight. I have to go back, pull this tight. That's getting loose, and see what it looks like. It looks good. It's doing what I want to do. I was kind of getting worried because it was a little strange. So after you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right here, you skip over this one, okay, because that is the middle bead. Skip over this triangle and then you go into all of these holes, and on the sides here where the big hole's at, you go through 2 times. Okay, now I have to take the needle and I'm gonna go and hold it this direction, and I have to pass my needle through all of these 11 O's. It's gonna connect them together. See how it's kind of floppy right now? So pass through all of them. It's gonna make all of this sit together really nicely for us. And I'm going to put that flat bead here in the middle. If you want, you don't have to add it though. It's kind of optional. But I like it because it kind of looks like an eye, and it makes this piece look like an Egyptian piece of jewelry to me. And I love Egyptian stuff. Okay, pulled that tight. See how it pulled all of the pieces there together, all the beads together. So pretty. Love it. I love it. I was also thinking maybe I should have put these down here That's another option. You can swap the two colors. It's up to you. But then this is like so close to the green beads. It just kind of blends in. So I do like the pink one on the top. So now what I have to do is reposition my needle. I'm going to take the needle and I'm going to go down through the 4mm. Okay. Then I'm going to go down through filigree. Come up the back side, go back through the 4mm. Should probably pull this tight and then go through all the way. Okay, let's pull that tight. Go through 2 seed beads. I'm going to pick up 2 11s, my center bead, and 2 11s. Like this. Slide them all down. And then I'm going to go through these 2 right here, so to mirror the other side. I just go like this. And you don't have to use this bead in the middle. You can play around with different kinds of beads, all different sizes and shapes, and see what looks best. I actually wanted a round bead really bad in here, but I think this one kind of makes it look like an eye, or it just makes it look so Egyptian to me. So anyways, I'm staying with this bead. Now I have to go through this 4mm. Okay. Through there. Pull it tight. It's going to want to get loose. I'm going to go down through the filigree. I'm on the back side. I'm going to go through the 4 again. I have to go through that bead again. I just can't let one thread path be there, so through the 4 again. Pull it tight. Go through these 2 seed beads here. Okay. Move this tail out of the way. And then I'm going to go through all of these seed beads, through that middle bead, and the 2 seed beads again. Pull tight through these 2 again. And since my tails are meeting, why not tie a surgeon's knot here? So I'm going to do that. That's weird that this happened again. I did not expect that. Okay, so over and under. And here I could tie this knot really tight because there is no problem with having slack like I need it on the bottom. So over and under once, over and under 2 times. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this tail and I'm going to reinforce all of these so that there is 2 threads going over each bar. This is going to make the piece really strong. I want this to last forever, y'all, because this necklace, when it's finished, it's going to be gorgeous. And, you know, not everybody's going to be able to make one of these. There's only going to be a few of them, the one I'm making, and whoever else watches this video and has the same materials. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and reinforce all of these a second time. And tie knots, and when I get done doing that, I'll go to this thread and I will reinforce this more and tie knots with this thread, and I'll probably tie knots going across here, and then I'll go through the seed beads on the inside and tie knots on the inside with this tail, because this one's going to be going through all the 4mm. I'm back and I'm going to show you guys how I'm doing the rest of the necklace. When I started doing the bead string on the sides, I thought that I would just do this part here and then do a gold chain for the rest. But I felt that I should use some of the Czech fire polish beads that I used down here in the stitching. So instead of doing chain, I just am doing the whole thing bead string. But I'm going to show you close up here what I did. So right here I used a wire guard, to go over the seed beads. I first thought that I would do a seed bead loop on the bead string and then pass it the seed beads through there, but it just looked so weird to me. And then I thought, well, I could do a jump ring and then do bead stringing wire, but bead stringing wire slips through jump rings, so I didn't go that way. And then I remembered that I had these wire guards, which I never use. So that's what I'm doing. And see how I have those 2 seed beads there? I put those 2 seed beads there because when you put a wire guard on, you're supposed to squeeze it together, and if I did that, I would break my seed beads, or I would, you know, get like stuck in between there. So I put 2 seed beads on, and I actually crimped it underneath this bead cone right there. So I'm going to show you real quick how I'm doing this on this side. So I already went ahead and I strung this side up, and I am using 2 of the teardrops in the side here, as you can see. Okay, and I put 2 crimp tubes. I'm using 2 because mine are really thin. They're not that strong, and I need to get some soft flex crimp tubes because they are the best. And I put them right here inside of my bead cone, and then I put on my teardrop bead, so they will be hidden inside there. And then I have a seed bead. So now what I'm going to do is take my wire guard, and I have to put it on, I have to use pliers to do this, I have to put this on my loop of seed beads right here, so I use the pliers to do that. Okay, and then I take my bead string wire and I pass it through one side of the wire guard. Okay, and then I'm going to go through my loop of seed beads. And let's see if I can go down this side. Yep, got it. Okay, and I'm gonna leave like a 3-inch tail, so let's see. That looks good. Okay, and then I'm gonna pick up 1 seed bead, and then I'm going to skip over this seed bead, the one that was just touching this bead, skipping over this one, and then I'm going to pass through the teardrop, bring this down so that we have this. Okay, so you can see why I'm doing it this way now. And then I have to bring my crimp tubes down, and I'm going to crimp this. Okay. So bring it down and crimp. Okay, fold that over. Okay, and then I just have to slide my bead cone down and pass both of my wires through all of these beads, and then I can crimp the other end, add my clasp and stuff, and finish the piece up. Here we go. Here is my necklace. It looks so good. I'm really happy with it. It's very pretty. I have to finish it off and I'll be all done. I just gotta go find which clasp I want to use. And yeah, I really like how this turned out. It looks so cool. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like this video, leave me a comment, subscribe if you want to see more of my videos, and make sure that you click the bell button so that you get notified whenever I upload new videos. And check me out on my social media sites. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. Thanks for watching.